Alright, once you have successfully installed the software, next thing is we have to make an OPC connection. So we'll make an OPC-UA server in our SCADA software. Alright, so once you go to this web page, localhost 8088, go to the status, and here you will see there is no connection, so you can click on that, and it will say you want to create a new connection. Yes, we want. Click create new, and click create new OPC connection. Okay. Now we want OPC-UA, it's a universal architect. This will support our Siemens PLC, or it will also support many other softwares which we are going to use. If you're going to read the tags of PLC in another software, you can use OPC-UA. This is very much flexible and easy to communicate. So click on the next, and then it is asking for endpoint URL. Now this is the endpoint which you have to define here. So here they say example is OPC, if you can read it, OPC.TCP 00004096 discovery. Now what you can do is you can define this endpoint URL, and this, instead of 00, it should be your Ethernet card address. So as I told you, if I show you my card address, config, it's 192.168.1.106. this is the IP address of my Ethernet card. Okay, so I have to use the same syntax, OPC.TCP. So if I show you here, I have used this before. So notice here OPC.TCP : //192.168.1.106. that's my IP address, and that's the port address. So let it be 4096 by default /discovery. This can be your endpoint URL based on your Ethernet card. This will be different in your case, the rest will be same. Okay, so select this endpoint URL and click choose server, and now it will give you three options. Now basically localhost is the same IP address as my Ethernet card. RV home is actually the name of my PC. 127.001 is also a default. So you can select the name of your PC, or you can select localhost, doesn't matter. So you can choose which server you want. So let's say I choose localhost and click select endpoint. Now my localhost server is here. Now it is asking if I want some security policy is none, mode is none. If I want to use ID and password to connect to my OPC server, then I have to define it here. So by default I will not choose any security policy as of now, so I use this first point, and then you click finish. So your OPC-UA server name, you can define it here. This is by default here. Description, I can write for my Siemens PLCs. It doesn't matter, you can write anything here. Enable is right. Read only is if you just want to read and not to write, but we want to write as well, so I will not check this. Username password, I will not use it as of now, so create new OPC connection. So your OPC connection is created, and you see here status is connected, and read only is false. This is important because we are going to write some tags and we need OPC server. So if you go back to the status again, you will see here OPC connection is connected. Okay, I hope this step is very easy. You have to follow this step. You don't need any hardware as of now. In creating OPC server, you just create in the SCADA software. So here as well, you have to make sure the status is connected. Okay, so this is about creating the OPC-UA server. Now the next step is we have to add devices in our SCADA software. Now you see here devices is 0. Now devices are my Siemens PLC devices. Okay, so how to do that? Click on the devices and then create new device again. Now you can select your PLC. It's suppose Allen Bradley, it's suppose Modbus. If you don't have Allen Bradley, or if you don't have Siemens, you can use a Modbus TCP as well for Delta PLC, Omron PLCs, and other PLC which supports Ethernet communication. That is also possible. And there are different other drivers as well. So I'm going to use SM1200. This is my PLC. So I'll click on next, and now I have to give the name. I will give Siemens 1. That's my first PLC. Description I don't want. The host name. Now host name is the IP address of my PLC. As I've shown you here, the IP address is 192.168.1.100. So I will use this one here. This is the IP address of my first PLC. Create new device. So just create it. 2 steps, and it will try to connect, and it says connected. Now it is connected because my PLC is connected to my Ethernet card. So if I show you, if I ping my PLC 168.1.100, I will get a response. So my Ethernet card is communicating with my PLC, so it will say connected. if you can't see connected here, it means there's a disconnection or misconnection between your computer and the PLC. Similarly, if I check my another PLC 7, this is also connected and giving me a response. So I will create another device now. Again, Siemens S7-1200. Next, name Siemens 2 107, create new device. So it will try to connect and you will see the status connected. So my two PLCs are connected. So let's go back to my status. Here my OPC server is configured, my two devices are added. So this was the second step you have to do: add your OPC connection and add your devices. All right, so this is it for this video. In the next video we will see what you have to do in the PLC to make this connection. There's two more steps which are required. If you see your device are not connected, or sometimes your tags are not connected, I will show you what are the steps involved in the Siemens TI portal to build a successful connection. So see you in the next video.